what's up, zoners? This is Tyler, Big Turd Ward, and Jason, the lucky bastard youth world, coming at you live from the West Coast. And this is the Fantasy Red Zone. Today, man, if you are struggling, we are selling hope to you. We got trade targets, dog. I got like 4 that I am actually super excited about. I'm going to be trying to send tons of trades for some of these people. And again, man, we got some players that trade away, man, because of their strength of schedule in the playoffs. So that's going to be big. We got the news, Jason. We got the smashes and crashes, which are the players that overperformed, the players that underperformed. Do you want to trade for them? Do you want to keep them? Why did they do it? Hey, but before we get into all of that, man, we need help. This show needs help. Look at the subscribers, man. Subscribe. Jason, please tell the public how they can help this show.
Yeah, if you guys made it this far and enjoyed 2 friends talking about fantasy football, then please subscribe, and then please press the like. We like the likes. Also, leave us a comment. Let us know what you think about these trade targets. And if you have any additional trade questions, let us know in the comments. We'll answer them ASAP. We're also on the radio on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. We also have a Patreon. And then, Tyler, I haven't seen your dog in like forever. I thought you got rid of the thing.
Oh, yeah, because I get rid of all of my animals. No, I just accumulate more, dude. That's how it goes. It's not good.
I know you wanted goats. I remember you wanted goats for one summer.
I was like, dude, I'd never have to mow my lawn again.
Yeah, that's what you said.
I need some fucking goats. And then it's like, oh, do you know what the sound of a goat is? Apparently it sounds like a woman being stabbed to death. And you just go outside. No, apparently not allowed in city limits, even though I've got some decent property. Yeah. I need more property. Please, Patreon, man, if you want. Again, I would put more towards the show than property, but eventually, dude, be nice. Jason, ready for some news, dog?
Yeah, let's hear it.
I just texted you. Last thing I saw was Mike Evans getting a perfect throw in the end zone, getting tackled, and holding his hamstring. So Mike Evans, hamstring, that guy's got to be out for the game, Jason. That guy's got to be out for a couple weeks.
He came back in.
Did he really?
Yeah, he was on the next drive or two.
Oh, it was dramatic. Dramatic, Jason.
That's what you meant.
I texted you right when it happened. I had to start getting ready for this. I'm out in the garage. I can't watch TV.
So wait, hold on, bro. So this was like after the touchdown catch? Like he made the touchdown catch?
This is way after that.
Oh, I'm sorry, dude. I thought it was like right when he did the touchdown catch. Yeah, it appears to have aggravated his right hamstring in Monday's matchup with the Ravens, so he's questionable.
Dude, he was rolling around. I thought he was going to get carted off, Jason. This guy was acting like he got stabbed in the hamstring.
It's Halloween. He's like,
Hey, man, it's just a hamstring. Jason is a Mike Evans owner. He's in first place in our main league. But, hey, he should be back in the playoffs, Jason, so don't worry about it. Godwin to the fucking moon. And then, hey, man, we got Debo. What's up?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Godwin to the moon.
Debo is in the hospital, Jason. He had pneumonia. Who else? Demario Douglas. I didn't see him in the hospital today. I needed him to be in the hospital for me not to be pissed off. Again, dude, I wish I would have heard about that before the game. But again, Debo left. Like, I don't even know, dude. First quarter, some shit. Sick. Pneumonia. And also, Jason Ayuk out for the season with the torn ACL and MCL. All the L's, all the C's. All right? C's and the L's all gone. Torn away.
Obliterated. Yeah, I actually did a Reddit post on that, Tyler, and it's like, we don't want to see fantasy players or players in general get hurt in their seasons, but gosh, it's almost like it's a relief that you don't have to worry about him for the rest of the season, because every week you're like looking at your phone and you're wondering, do I start Brandon Ayuk or do I sit him? But now you don't have to worry about it.
Jason, Reddit took my post off like 3 times in a row. Said I was violating some rule, but there's 1,000 fucking rules. Tell me which rule. Anyways, Cooper Kupp, Jason practices fully. Thursday night versus the Vikings. The Vikings give up points to wide receivers. Apparently running backs now. But that was a divisional game. That's kind of weird. But again, you should throw on the Vikings. They are a pass funnel defense, meaning they stop the run. They allow a lot of passing yards. So Cooper Kupp, man, if he plays, should be in your lineup.
Yeah. How close was he to playing this week? Do we really know? I feel like he had to be super close. Jason. I feel like he had to be super close because he was in my starting lineup until like an hour before kickoff.
Jason, Jordan Mason's 58 rushing yards were the most all year versus the Chiefs by a running back. Isn't that crazy?
Yeah. But not really at the same time.
Well, I do want to say, man, like I keep on looking. I'm like, oh my God, the Chiefs defense are not owned by they're available in 70% of leagues, dude, or 75% of leagues, maybe even more.
Do you know why?
Their defense does not score touchdowns. I don't know if they get sacks. It's crazy. They just hold people to no points. So their floor on their defense is amazing, but they don't ever get you a lot of points. So I think they were fantasy defense 20 or something when I was looking at them. It's kind of crazy how they could be so good in real life, so bad in fantasy, Jason.
Yep. They did end up getting, I think, 2 sacks and 2 interceptions this week, though, at least.
That I was like, oh, dude, watch. Now they're going to be hot shit. But, they've been doing this all year, but not scoring fantasy points. And then here we go, man. DK Metcalf sprained MCL week to week. So you saw that was that last night? That was last night's game, Jason? No, that was Pittsburgh. I watched this game somehow. I watched it, so I figured it was a night game because then I'd fucking get it. But yeah, DK, Jason, I tried to trade for him. Nobody's willing to trade him. He is now week to week. He caught that. He almost had 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he looked pretty good. That's going to suck. But just make sure to keep an eye on it throughout this week.
Jason, MVS, Marquise Van Scout, whatever his name is, signing with the Saints after Rashid Shaheed went down. So what this means to me is Bub means don't invest in Bub means, man. Just drop him, whatever you want to do. But MVS, I don't give a shit about MVS.
Yeah, I don't think he's really going to get a lot of targets. He's probably going to be, getting
Just
less
for
targets than what Rashid Shaheed would have.
But when he's got to feel that Rashid Shaheed role, Jason, just running straight down the field.
Yeah, he will. But I don't think he's going to get a lot of targets from it.
Jason, I think I checked, and you lost this week because Jaden Daniels hurt himself early. But good news, I put day-to-day with ribs, and I was like, man, I wish I had fucking ribs. I make the best ribs, man. You gotta hang them over coals, let the fat drip down, smoke it on its own fat. It's pretty amazing. Come down to Tyler's Rib House, Tyler's Rib Shack. I'll hook you up. Jaden day-to-day, though, with ribs, Jason, you had to be happy. You saw him come back in the game. Not come back in the game, on the sidelines. And he was smiling and waving. It seemed okay.
Yeah, I saw now that it's week to week.
What did you just say?
And then it's going to be month to month, and then it's IR.
Oh, that's not good. That was somebody. Who was that? We just talked about that last couple of weeks.
Nico Collins.
All right, man. I found that beer in my garage. It was warm, and I drank it. Juju, deal with the hamstring, Jason. They already said he won't play week 8. So, I know you went out and spent a bunch of money on Juju. Thought he was going to be getting I don't know, man, maybe 100 yards, at least 8 targets a game, something like that. Not the case, dude. And I meant to go back and check what ended the season last year. I want to say it was a hamstring, but I am not sure. So Juju with the hamstring, keep an eye on that. It looks like Mecole Hardman and Xavier Worthy, who we will talk about in a minute, will be the people to own in this offense.
Yeah, and just a little side note, it is now official Mike Evans won't return due to a hamstring injury.
Dude, I'm telling you, you just watch it. That shit's going to be 2-3 weeks. I'm sorry, Jason, but you're in first place. You can afford it.
Well, now, he was coming into this game with a little bit of a destination of injury, but then they said he's okay, he's good, and I put him back in my starting lineup. But, it's still those hamstrings, man.
He's getting old.
Yeah, he's getting old. We're not putting – he only had, a week's worth of rest. Normally, you got to rest longer than that when there's a little bit of tightness in the hamstring because they could creep on back. And they creep, yeah.
All right, man.
Are you snapping? Oh my god!
I remember there's man, when you say creep, I was I remember the music video, dude. Deshaun, hey VH1. If you're 38 years old, VH1, man, top 20 was the shit. No BET. I don't remember. I remember I always watched BET, Jason. I thought it was a gambling channel. Did not realize. I liked it. There was a soap opera on there. I watched for the chicks. I was like, oh my god, I did not know the soap opera existed. Here we go, man. Deshaun Watson out for the year with an Achilles, dude. Hey, we talked about this. Cedric Tillman came in with Jameson Winston is a motherfucker, Jason. This guy does not care. Jameson Winston's out here deep throating W's, dog. He will lead the league in air yards. if he gets a chance.
Right. This guy needs to be a starter on a team every year, just for fantasy purposes.
Hey, and the guy was talking shit to me today, Jason, on our comments. But I was like, hey, the reason they did not keep Joe Flacco around is because they didn't want to put any pressure on Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson's out, man. Now there's a lot of pressure on Anthony Richardson because of Joe Flacco's behind him. So I could see them just trading play. I could see him trading him. I was like, is that so crazy? I don't think it is.
No, I don't think it's crazy at all.
Hey, man, put me in a room with that guy, Jason. You'll need DNA.
The DNA for his, I can't remember his username. SCPW.
Monty, Jason, got kneed in the back of the knee. So David Montgomery got kneed in the back of the knee. He has a knee contusion. That's the most I've ever said knee in a short amount of time.
Well, we'll need to keep an eye on him for the entire week. I don't know. I tried too hard there.
Hey, dude, he should be fine, but he has been super efficient. And last year, Jahmyr Gibbs came on, a little bit weak and then just went nuclear in the second half. And look how it's working out, Jason. So we'll see we'll have to monitor that situation. Last thing, CMC aiming to return week 10 after the bye. Do you believe any of that shit, Jason?
Never!
I need to see it, but to believe it. Would you be trading for Christian McCaffrey? Would you be trading Christian McCaffrey away?
I'd be probably trading him away, and I'd be trying to trade for him if I'm not making playoffs, or if it looks like I'm not making playoffs.
Yeah, I mean, worst case, and it's like, dude, even if he comes back, Jordan Mason's been playing himself into some kind of role there. So I would try to trade away Christian McCaffrey for something, I guess, before. We'll see. All right, dude. I'm going to erase this and get into the trade targets. Now that I'm in the garage, man, I got to walk like 10 feet just to get to this.
Yeah.
Hey, it's already dark, man, and it's going to fall. We're going to fall back. Time's going to change. It's going to get even fucking earlier. Darker. What am I doing? All right, trades. We are like pirates of the Caribbean, Jason. We're trading. We're trading all over the place. And the first person I want to trade for, Jason, Devanta Smith. So the owners for Devanta Smith have to be so dude, they got to be at their wits' end. They've been waiting for this guy to come back. He did catch a touchdown last week, I'll give you that, but he had like 40 yards. And then this week, he had one target on a 91% route participation. So Jason, when I go over my my wide receiver quarterback matchups every single week, if you're at 90%, that is literally elite, dude. Like, you don't get much better than 90%. This fool ran 90% route participation. He only had one target, man. That is the first time in his career that he's finished a game with fewer than 2 targets. AJ Brown had a 78% of the passing yards. Hurts threw 14 times, man. Over 9 targets a game before injury, and he had a touchdown this last game. He should be coming back strong, man, but right now is a buy low on Devontae. He has the 12th best strength of schedule. Now, he does have Pittsburgh in week 15, but he's a second wide receiver there. They usually stop the run, Jason, so that's actually a good matchup. Then he has Washington and Dallas. So if you want to target him for his playoff schedule, that works as well, dude. So Devonta Smith, if you can put something together for him, I would think that his owners are pretty frustrated right now. How do you feel about trading for Devonta Smith, Jason?
Yeah, but wasn't Smith also covered by that Phillips guy for the Giants? I think he was. I think he's his best cornerback. Their best cornerback.
Yeah, because the guy that gives up a lot of points was covering Neighbors. Wait, no, sorry, not Neighbors. AJ Brown, and AJ Brown still delivered. I remember I read something like that, so I think that you might be right. You might be right there. But not a lot of people know that, Jason, about the Giants. They see Giants and they expect points.
Mm-hmm. They actually got a pretty good cornerback. Quickly, Tyler. I think we actually discussed this before. Would you trade Puka Nacua for Devonta Smith?
Damn, I think I would rather have Puka Nacua, Jason.
Okay.
No, Give me the healthy, man. I literally at this point in time in this fucking year, give me healthy. With this playoff schedule, I haven't even checked the Rams playoff schedule. I would rather have Devonta Smith.
I think with a healthy Cooper Kupp, I would definitely take Devontae Smith instead of Puka Nacua.
Yeah, because I mean, regardless, Cooper Kupp is getting all the targets anyways. Before Puka went down, and given that was the first week, so who really knows? But do you have some trades, Jason, for Devonta Smith? Like, what is regular, or what's being done right now today, Jason?
Yep, these trades are happening today. We got one Devonta Smith for Tank Bigsby.
Oh man. So that would depend on what you need, but that is kind of a similar situation. They're going to get you similar points. Tank Bigsby, they keep on saying ETN is not giving up. Doug Peterson to come out and be like, ETN is still the number one running back. So I think I would rather have Devonta Smith in PPR. In standard leagues, I'd rather have Tank Bigsby.
Yeah, it's kind of frustrating. It's pissing me off. What about Devonta Smith or James Conner?
James Conner's been kind of not so good as of late, dude. Arizona's been struggling. I think I think this is again PPR. I'd rather have Devonta Smith, because I could see myself trading. I wouldn't do it probably because I'm running back scarcity. But if I had running backs to give, Jason, I think that Conner for Devonta Smith would be okay.
All right, last one. Would you do Jerry Jeudy, Christian Kirk for Devonta Smith?
Oh Jesus, that's the kind of shit I'm living for, man. If I could package two shitty wide receivers, because we'll talk about this in a minute, man. Christian Kirk has literally dropped territory. If you could trade him away for anything, just do it. All right, Jason, next up.
Yeah.
Xavier Worthy, dog. Last two games. Week 5, career high, 6 targets. That equaled 25 yards. Week 7, career high, 8 targets, 19 yards. We got Juju Smith injured. Man, they had the 6th best strength of schedule. They do have Cleveland, Houston, and Pittsburgh in the playoffs. So that does scare me a little bit. But, man, Xavier Worthy is needed, Jason. He is a rookie. He's a first-round draft pick. People are online. People keep on talking shit about him because of his yardage and stuff. Like, literally after this week, is like, why did Buffalo give up? Like, who told Buffalo to give him this? And everybody's all laughing about it. I'm like, man, he is literally getting 8 targets. His targets keep on going up. The longer Rashee Rice is out, and now Juju Smith is injured. I would love to try to trade for Xavier Worthy if I'm desperate for wide receivers, man.
Yeah, it's almost like a process of elimination.
Just like, this is Hunger Games, dog.
Yeah. If they're still going to be double teaming Travis Kelce, then someone's going to have to be left open.
Jason, man, keep your COVID on your side of the fucking screen.
Sorry, allergies. Always, all day, every freaking day, man. I wish I just had freaking glasses here that are taped in the middle, and I had freaking pins in my pocket here because I feel like one of them, a Poindexter, with my allergies.
I feel like I look like I was sweating like a motherfucker, but hey, I went and I cut down half a tree today. What did you do? Well, not half a tree. Half a tree after I worked before this, after I did fantasy football research.
I tied myself to a tree and I said, "You're not taking this one." No.
I said, "This is kind, bud." That's you know what that's from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, Jason. All right, man.
All right. You ready?
Yes, I was going to say, give me some trades for Worthy. I want to see what you can get, what it takes.
Xavier Worthy or Zay Flowers for Xavier Worthy.
Oh my God, Zay Flowers 1,000 times. I mean, let's not fool ourselves here, people.
Okay. All right. Remember, Brandon Ayuk is done for the year. Xavier Worthy, Joe Mixon for Deebo Samuel.
So Xavier Worthy and who?
Joe Mixon for Deebo Samuel.
Oh my God, you better be keeping Joe Mixon. It should be Worthy and Deebo for Joe Mixon. And I still wouldn't do that. I would still take Joe Mixon.
Okay, last one here. Tyrone Tracy for Xavier Worthy.
Oh. No. I would rather have Xavier Worthy. Now, the first game without Andrew Thomas scares me, Jason. But, hey, Tracy still had, 16 routes ran compared to, 1 by Singletary. And there's a bunch of snap counts and stuff that I looked at earlier. So yeah, I mean Tracy's good, dude, but I would rather have Worthy. In PPR, I'd rather have Worthy.
Okay.
Standard Tracy. All right, Jason. Next up, dude. Tell me if I'm crazy. I didn't know I put this originally on trade away, but then I was like trade for, man. I think that you could scare the owners of Malik Nabers, Jason. Malik Nabers, Andrew Thomas out. He still led the team with 8 targets, but with 41 yards, wide receiver 40 finish. He has the 8th best strength of schedule, and then he gets Baltimore, who's weirdly been allowing the most points to wide receivers, even though their coverage has been like almost the best. And then Atlanta and Indianapolis in the playoffs. So if you could get Malik Nabers, I think that I talked about the pressure that Atlanta's generating, nothing. So if I could get Malik Nabers, Jason, and I could scare the owner because of this last game and the left tackle, I would try to do that, even though your sister owns him. She would never trade him. But would you trade for Malik Nabers or away? I'm thinking for.
I would definitely trade for Malik Nabers. Right. Daniel Jones, he left the game. Did he get pulled or was he hurt?
They said that he did not finish because it was out of reach or something.
Yeah, they benched him. Okay.
Yeah. When I saw it, it was like, I was like, hey, man, one bad game. He's actually been playing well. He's made the money. So,
right. It looks
he's going to keep on starting.
If Daniel Jones is still playing, I like Malik Nabers because he knows, man, target Malik Nabers. He's their best option in wide receivers. 20 targets a game.
But yeah, and hey, Jason, his playoff schedule, man, you know, he gets Atlanta and Indianapolis, so that could be great.
Oh, yep.
And then trading for last one, Jason. Oh, wait.
Hold
for. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Oh, no, you're fine. What'd you do? Tyreek Hill for Malik Nabers.
That's so funny because when I was like, because I've got Tyreek Hill and Waddle as a trade away. But I was like, in the beginning, I was like, dude, you could get Tyreek Hill for Nabers. And then I was like, do I want Tyreek Hill? I'm going to be walking on eggshells the entire time as a Tyreek Hill owner. Without Tua, he's worthless. He's he's like literally droppable, like crazy. So that's a huge risk. I think I'd rather have Nabers. If I could trade Nabers or Hill for Nabers, I think I would do it.
Okay, Stephon Diggs, Devonta Smith for Malik Nabers.
I think I would rather have Devonta Smith and Stephon Diggs, Jason.
Okay. Last one. Malik Nabers, Stephon Diggs for CeeDee Lamb.
I would rather have Nabers and Diggs. Fuck CeeDee Lamb, man.
No. Sorry. Forget that one. Pretend you didn't hear that one. Brian Thomas, Drake London for Malik Nabers.
Oh, my God. Keep Brian Thomas. Keep Drake London, for God's sakes. But, I mean, Brian Thomas for Nabers should be discussed. London for Nabers should be discussed, but not both of them.
Remember, people, these are actual trades that happen.
Shit's crazy.
In the universe. Today.
Last one, man. I like Drake. I like Drake May a lot. So I'm thinking Rhamondre Stevenson. I took a look at his how many targets he had in his limited snap count. He had a 50% snap count share, Jason, against the Jags. He has been banged up. He's coming off an injury. He's maxed out at a 56% snap share since week 2 when he had like 100 yards and a touchdown a couple weeks in a row. He has the 7th best strength of schedule, but importantly, Jason, Arizona, week 15. So that alone makes me want to trade for him. Then he's got the Buffalo, who's struggling. They're stopping the pass, but not the run. And then the Chargers, who you do not want to start a running back against. So for 2 of the 3 weeks, you could probably start Rhamondre Stevenson. And then Drake May, shit. Oh, he had 3 targets, Jason, in that 50% snap share against the Jags. I know Jermichael Hasty got that touchdown, but that was a revenge game for him, if you do not remember. But hey, 3 targets in 50% snaps. If you're telling me this guy's getting like 5 targets a game from Drake May, and he gets a decent schedule in the whatever, you could get Rhamondre Stevenson for so cheap. If I was desperate for running backs, Jason, I would try to go out there and get Rhamondre.
And then let's see. Are you afraid of Antonio Gibson?
Oh, hell no. The one time they said he was going to start, he fucking got a touchdown and like 70 yards.
All right. So let's see. Do we got any 1v1? Okay, here we go. Tank Dell for Rhamondre Stevenson.
Woo! I would go Rhamondre in that because Nico
Stroud
Collins is coming back, Jason. Although Nico Stroud.
Okay. Roma Dunze for Rhamondre Stevenson.
Oh, Rhamondre Stevenson, dude. Yeah, I would rather have Rhamondre.
Last one, Jonathan Brooks for Rhamondre Stevenson.
Woo! That is the great mystery, Jason. I would rather have Jonathan Brooks because I like mysteries. I'll be able to sleep and dream for a while.
Yeah, from my understanding, Carolina was in that blowout game where they lost 42-7. Dude, Chuba Hubbard was still the player to score like in the fourth quarter. They still had him, still running him the ball in the fourth quarter, and he got like a 4-yard.
I know. It's like Dave Canales is like, running backs are going to do something no matter what. So
yes, yep.
All right, man, go to trade away. What do you think about trading? Oh, first off, annual announcement, Jason, for the next couple of weeks. Trade away DeAndre Swift. You got like 3 weeks, dude. And then he gets Minnesota and Detroit weeks 15 and 16. They are like the top run defenses. I know they just went against each other, and they both, Aaron Jones and Gibbs just ran the goddamn ball. But again, I would trade away Swift if I can, Jason. He's got 3 amazing matchups. Trade him within the next 3 weeks.
Okay. And
then here we go, dude. Jamar Chase. Trade away Jamar Chase. T. Higgins has out-targeted Jamar Chase in 4 consecutive games. He holds a 38-30 margin during that span. He does have the 11th best schedule, Jason, but he's got Tennessee, Cleveland, and then fucking Denver, dude, in the championship week. So terrible matchups. Chase tied 18th in targets, dude. He is number 1 in yards, number 1 in total wide receiver points. His efficiency metrics are off the chart. This is all going to come down crashing, dog. If you could trade away Jamar Chase right now, I would.
T. Higgins is playing like he's on a franchise tag.
T. Higgins has vices for hands, but that playoff schedule alone, I'm like, holy shit, that is not good.
Okay, Jahmyr Gibbs or Jamar Chase for Jahmyr Gibbs.
Oh, if you could get Jahmyr Gibbs, get fucking Jahmyr, man. That should be a realistic trade.
Jamar Chase for Jaden Reed, Aaron Jones.
I do not want any more Jaden Reed, but yeah, I would probably rather have Jamar Chase there.
Jamar Chase, Bijan Robinson.
I'd probably rather have Bijan, man. Which, no, because Bijan's been doing good for like 3 weeks, right?
Yeah, I think I just went up against him. I think he got another 20 points.
Yeah, I'd probably go Bijan, even though that I am not. It's not like I super trust him, but dude, Jamar, man, I would try to get the highest thing I can get for him while I can.
Yeah. Okay.
How do you feel about that, Jason? All those things I just dropped on you. Is that pretty good?
That one's pretty crazy because we've been like trade for Jamar Chase, especially at the earlier in the year. But now that we're seeing like T. Higgins be the man, it's not saying Jamar Chase isn't good. It's just T. Higgins has been outproducing him. And it has to be because of matchups, right? Jamar Chase is obviously getting the number 1 cornerback for each team. T. Higgins, he is talented when healthy, and he's going up against the second cornerback for each team, and it's just like better opportunities for him.
Right. All right, dog. Here we go. It's C.J. Stroud, trade away. He only has 2 top 12 quarterback 1 performances this season. That is a rate of 29%. Last year, he gave us quarterback 1 performances at a 53% rate. There's tape out on him. People know what's up. They're letting Joe Mixon run the ball rather than C.J. Stroud throw the ball all over them. He's got the 16th best strength of schedule, Jason, so that is average. And then you look at the playoffs. Dude, Miami is allowing the fewest fantasy points to wide receivers maybe this year. At Kansas City, goddamn. And then they get Baltimore. So, yeah, their playoff schedule is kind of fucked, Jason. If I could trade C.J. Stroud away and combo him for, I don't even know, dude, another quarterback, I would.
We said all off season he was projected too high going into this draft. People were projecting him to get like 30 touchdowns just because he had an additional weapon on the team. But when they have a good running game and a good running back like Joe Mixon, who could take 30 carries a game, he doesn't need to throw that much. No way.
Yeah.
Okay, this one's pretty easy. I know we're going to go here. CJ Stroud for Baker Mayfield.
I'd rather have Baker.
A lot of these are quarterbacks. CJ Stroud for Brock Purdy.
Brock Purdy. I'm thinking Baker Mayfield's bad. That back end of that defense is still so bad. He gets a lot of opportunity. Dude, Brock Purdy's been sucking too, Jason.
Yeah,
that's kind of I would flip a coin and tell him and make that decision for me.
Remember the 49ers last year, they were like the number one team over expected points by like
right. And now it's
100.
coming home to roost, Jason.
Yeah, now we're getting the reality. Last one here. CJ Stroud, Brian Robinson Jr.
I know that Brian Robinson Jr., man. That fool produces even when he's injured. I don't get it. He's been shot, and now he's like fucking doesn't care if he's injured or not.
Yep.
And then here we go, Jason. The last real trade away. Tyreek and or Waddle. Tua is returning this week. There's so much hope on these players, man. So it's right when the cold weather starts. All right. They have the 13th strength of schedule. They get Houston, San Francisco, and then Cleveland in the playoffs. So, I mean, Houston is warm. San Francisco is going to be warm. Cleveland cold. But those are three good defenses. That does not make me feel any better. And I'm just telling you, man, I don't like this whole, I don't want this whole, I would not want to be a Tyreek. I'm a Tyreek owner, and I'm almost expecting this to happen again, dude. I'm expecting another concussion and him not to finish the year.
Unfortunately.
So, I know that sucks. It sucks so bad, and I don't like to predict injuries, but I would just try to get off the Tyreek Waddle shit if I could. Am I crazy, Jason, or what?
No, I get it, dude. I've been waiting for Tua to come back so Devon Achane can start producing as well because he was catching a lot of balls out of the backfield before his concuss. But it's just like, dude, he's fragile, dude. He's like one of those dancing ballerinas, like on those little toys that just spin around.
Yeah.
You know, and
little... He's carrying my Madden team, Jason, to a 16-0 season. No,
Tua is. He's the fragile one. I mean, shoot, Achane is too, actually. He got concussed as well. So it's not crazy. I don't think it's crazy. It's a lot of fear, a lot of stress. Tyler, let's do the Jaylen Waddle trade.
What could you get for Jaylen Waddle, man?
You want to hear what trade happened today?
Yeah.
Okay. Jaylen Waddle for Brandon Ayuk. This had to happen right before the news went out, man.
I'm like, you know what? I'll risk it, man. And just sitting that trade, it's like, Waddle might be worth holding on to, but Tyreek, Jason, I'm sure you could trade him for something.
And let's do this one. What about Jaylen Waddle for Chase Brown?
Oh my God. If you could do that, do that. Chase Brown.
And then what about Jaylen Waddle for Jacoby Myers?
I would do that, man. I would get Jacoby Myers. Gardner Minshew throws the shit out of the ball. I would rather have Aiden O'Connell, though. Aiden O'Connell with Jacoby Myers would have been the play. But he should be. Aiden O'Connell's going to be starting again in 4 weeks, man.
Yeah. Okay.
And then, all right, man, just a couple quick tradeaways. Really nothing big, Jason.
All right.
Christian Kirk. Fucking trade away Christian Kirk. Because I'm going to drop his ass. If you can get anything for him, trade him away. Laporta, Jason. If you can get anything for his name, dude, do it. He's got Chicago and San Francisco in the playoffs. Not good. And then Joshua Downs, man. In the 3 games with Joe Flacco, he's killed it. In the 3 games with Anthony Richardson, he's got like 3 fantasy points per game. So if you can get rid of those players for any value, get rid of them.
Dang. Yeah.
All right, man, let's get into we're going to finish with positivity, Jason. So let's get into the crashes. First crash for us. Kirk Cousins. I started him in our listener league. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, so he finished with only 7 points. 24 completions out of 35 attempts, 232 yards, 1 touchdown, and 2 interceptions. He also had 1 fumble loss that was returned for a touchdown. Nothing really stood out. You know, his completion percentage was 68. That was exactly what was expected for him in Next Gen Sports. He helped manage the game, and the Falcons rushed the ball 155 times Bijan had over 20 attempts, so they focused a lot in the running game. But his 3 turnovers, that's what it really was. His 3 turnovers lost him the points. In our league, Tyler, I think that's like 6 points that he lost.
Yep.
So lost fantasy points, lost the week. Next week, they're at the Buccaneers, who allowed the second most points to quarterbacks.
Yeah, man. Let's see. Do I have anything written about Kirk Cousins? Yeah, 2 touchdowns and 2 interceptions since his 500-yard, 4-touchdown game, week 5. So last 2 games, not good, man. 1 touchdown per. His playoff schedule, Jason, is Las Vegas, who is actually pretty good against the pass. New York Giants, they've got 1 good cornerback, and then Washington. But pretty good, actually a pretty good playoff schedule, considering. So, Cousins, would you be trading for or trading him away?
I think you got to like look at it a little bit like deeper too, where it's like Carolina. You know, you said what 2 touchdowns since his 500-yard performance. Yep. So Carolina, dude, that could have gone either way. That could have gone him throwing for another 500 yards, or it could have gone Bijan rushing for 102 touchdowns, which he did.
Right.
And then you go against Seattle, where like you can run against Seattle, and that's what they focus, and they had success doing it. So I think it's just, you know, the matchups. You know, like I said, he also had 3 turnovers, which cost him like 6 points. I mean, it's not much. That would have been like 13, I think. But still, I'm not saying give up on him. I think you're just going to have to play him. He's more going to be like a streamer option.
Yeah, I mean, he had that one awesome game. We all thought he was back, and then not much since then. Jason, next up, Crash, man. I predicted this. I've been telling you this. I was an owner last season. This happened last season, all right? This team was going to hit the ground eventually. Alvin Kamara, man, eventually this team sucks, and now everybody's injured. Now everybody just thinks they're going to run. They're expecting all the runs, man. But, I mean, 7+ targets, Jason, each of his last 4, so at least he's got that saving grace. But terrible, terrible, terrible.
Yeah, even with the backup, he's still getting targeted. He finished with 8 points. 7 attempts for 10 yards, 1.4 yards per carry, but he did have 7 targets, 6 receptions for 14 yards. He was 4th on the team in rushing yards, but tied for 2nd in target. But yes, he was 4th on the team in rushing yards. He was a victim of the game that had no offense from the Saints. There were too many weapons out for the game for wide receivers, so the Broncos just loaded up the box. I think the bigger concern here is Jamal Williams and Kendre Miller cutting into his workload and doing better in the yards per carry stat. That's a little bit concerning. Next week, they're at the Chargers, who allow 17 points to running backs.
Well, like I said, Jason, the saving grace is targets, 7+ targets in each of his last 4. Jason, he's been a running back 22, running back 17, and then running back 26 over his last 3 games. And he was, you know, top 5 running back pretty much every week over the first 3 weeks. So Alvin Kamara, man, I would not trade for him. If I could, I would trade him away, package him, and you could maybe get maybe Jonathan Taylor still or something like that. I would go after somebody that's been injured or something maybe.
Yeah, because if Kamara keeps this up, this is Rachaad White territory.
Yeah, exactly. So I mean that's a good comparison, Jason. This team just looks like shit right now. Like that defense, they were saying they were playing like a defense that did not want to get their team that wanted to get their head coach fired. So not much time in possession for the Saints and everything else. All right, man.
And guess who played that defense this week? This guy.
Sometimes, man, the NFL throws a fucking curveball. All right, dude. Deontay Johnson. This guy's like, I'm hearing about this guy getting traded now and all kinds of shit.
Yeah, I saw that too.
He's got a bad attitude. I told you, man. He literally will not practice, but he shows up and plays every game day. No wonder the Steelers got rid of him. He's got a fucking terrible attitude. But Deontay Johnson, man, he crashed this week, and I was trying to trade for him a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, he crashed and burned. He only had 2 points, 1 reception for 17 yards on 3 targets. This game got out of hand fast. Dante Fowler Jr. had a pick 6 in like the opening drive for Carolina, or the second drive, one of them drives. Then the next drive, Dalton was targeting Johnson on a 20-yard route downfield, but ended up being an interception. Xavier Leggett led the team in receptions for wide receivers with 2. Tight end, Jatavian Sanders led the team with 6 receptions. Sleeper, maybe? Find out. Dalton he only attempted 16 passes on the game, so it's hard to get any fantasy value when your quarterback's only attempting 16 passes. Deontay Johnson travels to Denver to play the Broncos, and let's just say that matchup doesn't get any better for Deontay Johnson.
16 passes, Jason, and they were down like by 30 points, so I don't get that. So yeah, Deontay Johnson scored fewer than 6 PPR points for the second time in 3 weeks on Sunday. He was also below 20% target share for the second time during that stretch. So 2 times in the last 3 weeks, Jason. I probably should have put Deontay Johnson trade away, dog. Would you try to trade for him, or would you trade him away?
I would actually have to look at some matchups here. I mean, I still like him because he's the target, hyper focus for.
If I didn't hear about his like shitty attitude and stuff, I would have been like, oh yeah, I would trade for him. But now I'm like, maybe they're figuring out they don't like his ass. They'll I don't know. So
yeah, I watched this game, dude, and it was just like it got out of hand so fast, like so quick for Carolina. It was a mess.
All right, man. Next up, this is predictable. Travis Kelce's going to take some games off, man. Yep. So, I mean, you have to start him. But, yeah, it's going to be pretty fucked up. It's going to be pretty similar to last year. So, Travis Kelce, Jason, crashed. Again, not really that big of a deal.
Right. He had Fred Warner. Fred Warner was on his ass.
I think that he's matchup dependent. You just totally reminded me Fred Warner was on him.
Yep. So he had 5 points. He had 4 catches for 17 yards on 5 targets. No wide receiver for the Chiefs did well. Mahomes only had 154 yards passing. Noah Gray actually led the team in receiving yards with 66. But why throw it when you can rush for 184 yards against the 49ers? And down in the red zone, they're not using Kelce as much as they had in the past, but they don't need to when they have Kareem Hunt on the team. So next week, Kelce plays against the Raiders, who allow 9 points to tight ends. Another tough matchup.
Kelce, target shares with Rashee Rice, 15%, 13%, 14%. Without Rashee Rice, 32%, 29%, and 20%. So Kelce should be fine, but again, dude, if he's got a tough matchup, you're just going to have to deal with the shitty thing. Otherwise, you're going to have to carry 2 tight ends. All right, man. Let's get on to the smashes, dog. First smash. This guy bugs the shit out of me, man. Really. I mean, bugs the shit out of me. I think his wife is pretty awesome. All right? Talk about that. But Russell Wilson, man. Danger Russ is back. I said put like 5% fab on him. Tell 2 halves, man.
Okay, so tomorrow's video, we got wide receivers versus cornerback. It's very important, and you guys like it. You guys like it, and it'll be out. It can help you get a leg up in front of your league mates. And then the day after that, we got our start sit, which is very important. So make sure you catch that episode 2. I will talk to you in the player pause video. Deuces.